All right,
Very
hello,
human enough.
hello, yes, everyone. Star Trek and stuff. But we have multiple points of order to deal with first. The first question is Herr Deutschland wrong about hot and humid being being the best weather? He thinks it's good. It's, in fact, the worst. So I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah, it's the worst.
But I would expect no less from a Florida man. Florida men are creepy. Not creepy. What's the word?
No, I'll go
Crazy.
with creepy. It's okay. I understand.
No, crazy is the word I was going for.
Would you call Trip Tucker crazy?
Yes. I love him, but he's a crazy man.
Hurtful.
The other important thing is if I can just unblur the screen right now. We haven't done this in a while. What is the ideal taco shell? Now, you got basically two standards. You got the round, where you got the shell that folds. That's the standard. Or you can do a burrito, which is pretty good. Burritos are cool. There's also taco bowls, but they just seem to be like taco meat with tortilla chips. I don't know if that counts as a taco.
Ryan, remember YouTube chat?
Now, I've been thinking, since it was brought up in Discord before the stream started, that the ideal taco might be maybe not a cube, but a sphere. A small, bite-sized sphere with taco stuff inside it. You never have to worry about spillage. You get all the toppings you want. And it has that bit of crunch to it. It's great. I think a taco sphere would be ideal.
That would be very interesting. A taco spear.
Yeah, a crunchy shell sphere, not a soft sphere. You could do a soft sphere. That would make it easier to make, certainly. I'm not sure about how you would make a crunchy sphere with toppings inside it. You could certainly make a sphere that's just crunchy shell all the way in. But you need hollow space. Oh, also the first episode for today is DS9 The Emperor's New Cloak, Season 7, Episode... something? 12. What is it?
Oh.
12? 12. Season 7, Episode 12. Two has that you glue...
now sells a soft tortilla bowl.
A soft tortilla bowl. Though if it's soft, then how do you maintain the shape? How does that work?
I'm just reporting the news.
If it's a soft bowl,
inside of normal bowls.
if it's a soft bowl, you're gonna have to try really hard to cut the tortilla shell on the bottom of the bowl so that you actually get tortilla in the spoonful of taco. Unless it's small enough that you can hold the whole thing and just bite it like a burrito.
Never had that.
I'm not convinced.
I wasn't even sure how well.
I think this is probably a disaster.
Oh, also related to Star Trek, if this is your first stream, or you're watching the VOD, what you do is everything's going to be blurry and you're not going to get any show audio from us because copyright. So what you do is you load up your own copy of the show, and then once the timestamp hits, or once the press play in hits 0, you press play, and then we watch along. Or if you've joined in later, though I don't know why you'd be here right now, if you join in later, then the idea is you just sync to a timestamp, because we're going to have a timestamp. So yeah, have your own copy of the show loaded.
And if you want to join Discord audio, like Ryan might have mentioned, click on the Discord, and it should connect you to there. And all you do is hit watch on a voice chat, and you should be on.
Yep. And yeah, the Discord is open to anyone who wants to join the voice chat. You just get in here. I've got it set up, so if you start saying awful things, I can filter it out. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh.
Now, see, that started being filtered out. I don't know if they heard any of that or if I got in time. But for now, press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. In memory of Jerome Bixby. Who's Jerome Bixby? Is that a writer? Yes, he was a writer. What did he write? He wrote 4 TOS episodes, is what he did. One of them was Mirror Mirror.
Yep. And
Ah.
Day of the Dove. By any other name.
But yeah,
And Requiem for Methuselah.
Methuselah?
Methuselah.
Okay. My god.
What were we drawing
Okay,
before?
more. The ideal taco shell. Because I have grocery delivery scheduled for later today because I don't want to go to the store. Screw that. And, you know, one of these taco shells. And I'm wondering, like, what's the ideal taco shell?
Well, you know what I've been doing? I buy a thing of corn tortillas and I fry them in my frying pan. And then while they're still flexible, I take them so that the short axis bends over the handle of a wooden spoon and let it cool like that. And it becomes a taco shell.
It's just that, I mean, sure you can make your own, but it's a lot more effort.
But
And I'm
so much
specifically
better.
trying to avoid effort this week.
But it's so much better.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, the Grand Nagus is missing. Where did he go? Where's the Grand Nagus? Could it have anything to do with the episode Mirror Mirror that this episode is dedicated to the writer of? Might they be
I
related?
doubt
What
it.
happened?
Couldn't possibly be.
I was gonna go get groceries, but it's like 95 degrees outside, and I don't want to deal with
delivery.
that.
Screw
and I was
that.
running late. Yeah.
Is there skill at Dabo? How can someone just Dabo skills be shaky? I thought it was just roulette.
I don't know. There's more to it than just that.
Puts into the idol.
Say again? What about the idol?
What happens to the latinum that Quark put in the idol? Like, does Quark take it out later, or does like some Ferengi priest show up to take it at some point?
I assume it gets emptied, yeah. That's how we're working for the
Maybe
Nagus.
there's a little miniature transporter in there, and it moves it somewhere.
I think he takes it out and he sends it to the whatever himself.
To himself?
The Ferengi Pope. No, wherever it has to be sent. Sure. Not the Nagus, but is there like a religious leader on Ferenginar?
Probably the Grand Nagus. I mean, he was just praying to the Nagus right now.
Was it Nagus Zek that he was praying to, or like a different Nagus, like an old Nagus?
That's fair. I think it was I don't think he named the particular Nagus.
So regular Ezri or Dami Ezri?
What are you talking about?
Who's your favorite Ezri?
Well, regular Ezri so far has never put a knife to someone's throat, so I think that's a big point in her favor.
Don't see Dax. It's the regular Ezri. And Ezri is the other Ezri. You think?
What? Yeah, Mirror Universe episodes are weird. What is happening? Why? Okay. That's not what's happening here, Quark. You're being threatened with death.
Right, Quark.
Why does everyone know about the Mirror Universe? I would think this was a state secret.
They did make it one in Discovery, but I guess they couldn't keep it secret.
Well, it kept happening over and over and over again.
Yeah.
What happened to all the other universes, though? Why don't we have like the universe where Data has blue eyes? You know, why don't we have that crossover? Or
Apparently,
how
Well,
about the
we might have
universe
that
where
crossover all the time
Worf
and
is
just
first
nobody
officer?
notices. Because they look the same.
I mean, there are dozens of different universes. We established that in Parallels.
Right. So how come we keep going back to this one in particular?
I'm sure
Well,
they had
do
some
we?
story about how it's closer in some sense.
Do we keep going back to this one in particular, or is it a different mirror universe every time?
No, it's consistently.
It could be one that's very close and had similar events so that they remember the things happening, but it could have been
They
alternate
talk about Kirk's
versions of alternate
transporter accident in
universes.
the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing. This whole episode's premise is based on them stealing a cloaking device. And in the first DS9 Mirror Universe episode, the Cardassians and Klingons already have cloaking devices.
True.
True.
But do they have spherical, bite-sized tacos?
No, but do
Or
we?
strictly
'Cause
speaking, would
sounds
that count as
amazing.
a burrito?
No.
Do we have those? Because that sounds amazing.
It does sound amazing. That's what I'm saying, but I don't think they exist.
Business opportunity.
No, they don't
I think
exist.
once you go spherical, you have the ratio of filling to tortilla or shell is going to be too low.
In what? 'Cause I think that would give a higher ratio of shell, and I think that's ideal. I think that'd be good. I think we need more shell.
Did you just say tortilla to shell? Because those are the same thing.
What
No,
is that? What
no.
I said?
I don't
No,
think
not
that-
you.
I don't
Oh.
think I'm trying to
No,
say.
I said
No, I don't. I didn't say that.
tortilla or shell to filling ratio.
Oh, okay.
Now there was an idea of, because it sounds like hard shell tortillas, hard shell spheres would be really hard to make, because how do you get the filling inside? I liked the idea of you seal it with a ring of melted cheese. I think that's good.
Well, I've been getting quesaritos at Chipotle for yeah.
Computer, are you okay?
The
Self-sealing tortillas.
Streamer's trying to
Let me
refresh.
see if the stream's still running.
there
I
it is.
just
Yeah,
had a
self-sealing tortillas.
It's still running. It's still running.
Okay.
It's over here,
timestamp
it's
isn't
still running.
though. The timestamp is dead.
On the-
Let me
on the sun,
restart the
stop.
program.
I don't see the timestamp. Yeah.
Okay,
The
so
stream's still running.
because
Stop.
of how
Let
this
it
works, I can't bring the
Still running.
timestamp up, so that's unfortunate.
start running.
The timestamp just broke, so it's gone. This is some interesting acting going on here.
What do you do about the timestamp?
I might be able to get an alternate way of the timestamp working. Give me a minute.
Okay. Don't see it yet.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just keep watching the episode. That is some good acting going on. Look at that acting.
Alright, I'm not gonna.
They took that miming what you call it? What's the word when they said they're using their engineering extension course? There you go. Mime extension courses.
Okay, we have a timestamp. We've done it.
There it is. There it is. Got it. So 1922.
It's a good color. I actually can't tell what color it is because everything's so darkly lit in this show. It's really hard to make thumbnails for DS9 because everything's so dark. And that problem
Just
is
trying to take a
doubled.
screenshot.
The problem
I mean,
is
they-
doubled with Mirror Universe episodes because the Mirror Universe has even less lighting.
How do they film in the dark? I mean, it would probably have to be so hard.
How hard could it be to find? You don't need to crawl around on the ground. Just use your foot.
I was like, just lightly kick around.
It'll also look a lot less suspicious.
How is the
How
cloaking
do they-
device close right now? Where's the power coming from?
Don't worry about it. Speaking of things you shouldn't worry about, how
Just enjoying the show.
how did they get to the cloaking device on a Klingon ship? There weren't Klingons on
They
board
bribed
at
the
the time?
guards. Got him drunk.
It's just that you look so much like Ezri. Is she? Is she taller? Did they put this Ezri in heels?
She just stands up straighter because she has more confidence.
And what are the odds that they sent someone from the universe that we already know? What are the odds? They could have sent some random person. Oh god.
Yeah, we
Or
already
just
know
forget
that.
about this after the episode.
Yeah, they're not going to bring it up again. Don't worry about it. The fact that Quark stole a cloaking device from a Klingon warship in a time of war, yeah, no, it's fine.
It's all fine.
Jesus, Rom. Keep up with the program, Rom. Is it? Is it different enough? How did
An alternate DS9.
How did Rom die? I know Quark got murdered by the state. How did Rom die?
Rom was executed by the intendant. He had like a
Okay.
knife stuck
Oh.
to him, right? Remember when they
Vic
were trying to
Fontaine.
escape or something?
Real
In the episode where they're supposed to
human Vic
rescue
Fontaine.
Jennifer.
How does this work? How does he exist? He's
Don't
not
worry
a
about
hologram.
it.
He's a real person.
As you yourself have said, don't worry about it.
But
You're worrying. It sounds like you're worrying about it. Don't worry about it.
they didn't even call him Felix.
I just hear more worrying.
If they called him Felix, that would make sense, but he's Vic. Well, strictly they only called him Fontaine, so maybe he's Felix Fontaine. Well.
Maybe it's. Don't worry about it.
Why
Vic,
do you
don't
care,
worry about it,
Quark?
Fontaine.
She put a knife to your throat. Well, careful. You're gonna hurt the camera, Siddiq El Tahil El Fadl Abdurrahman Muhammad Ahmed Abdul Karim El Makti.
And you say very well. I wouldn't say that good.
Did
I don't
did Siddiq grow out his hair for this episode, or is he wearing a wig?
That's clearly a wig.
Maybe it's just very poofy hair.
I say that's gonna be a wig. No, that's gonna be a wig. Or maybe this. Maybe he changed his hairstyle. I don't know.
No, money's fine to believe in. Jeez, Rom, you're not helping. They might know you're over there. They might be able to figure it out. Because Martok saw fake Esri. And then realized they're still on the station. Might be able to piece that together.
Why didn't the Defiant schematics include a cloaking device? In that one episode where they built the Defiant.
The Federation doesn't have the schematics. It was on loan from the Romulan Empire.
And they don't have the schematics for the device in their ship?
Nope.
No, they just have a dotted outline of this is where the cloaking device goes, and the Romulans told them how to hook it up.
Paint by numbers engineering. That's the Federation way.
Schematics just has a square.
Wait, why did the
Romulan's
timestamp
little
disappear?
cloaking device here.
Where did it go?
Keep out of this area.
How is the timestamp gone? It's still... But it... No, it's back. No, it's fine. I figured it out. Don't worry about it.
I still don't. Oh, there it is. I'm saying it's still missing. Okay. All right.
This is just weird. I don't like anything about this. Don't hurt Mayhardu. What did Mayhardu ever do to you? Mayhardu wouldn't hurt a fly.
What do a Mayhard do if a Mayhard do to you?
Do.
What would a Mayhardu do if Mayhardu could do what Mayhardu would do?
Do.
No. Also, what is Mayhardu's job? Is he a bodyguard? Because he's not doing a good job at that.
He's a valet. He's the Grand Nagus valet.
He's also a slave.
Or concierge or whatever.
That's... Why? Why does this exist?
Is Umox allowed on television?
I like that the exterior shot of DS9, or sorry, Terok Nor, is still in orbit of Bajor, because of course it is. There's no wormhole.
Hey,
or if there is, they haven't found it.
Good.
Yeah, just leave. You don't need the Grand Nagus, just leave.
Huh?
If you leave the Nagus to die, you could get a new Nagus like Quark.
Or,
Yeah, that's good.
Brunt.
FCA.
T.
Why are you loyal to the Nagus? No, I'm with Esri. Why? You have no loyalty to this man. Since when has anyone ever cared about the Nagus beyond his ability to make money? Thank you, Rom. Rom is the voice of reason in this episode. Oh, I know who it is. Someone we were just talking about. Not
That's
FCA.
not FCA.
What is he? Is he unemployed?
ASF.
I don't know what that means.
It's Mirror.
Isn't he friend zoned by
ACF?
Ezra here?
Any what?
I think he's friend zoned by Ezra here, right? Like he loves her, but she loves the intendant or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and she ends up hooking up with Lita at the end of the episode.
I have no memory of this.
It's not the best episode.
Well, the Mirror Universe is the only place Star Trek characters before Discovery are allowed to be queer.
Yes.
So
Yeah, which has unfortunate implications. Like,
Wasn't there
Other joined, of
other
course.
The evil gaze. Ooh.
exactly.
there was the episode with Jadzia, and there was the episode with Crusher,
So
and
Rob,
then
yeah,
Most
both
of
of
the
those
time-
turned out.
most of the
Those
time in
are
Star
not
Trek, they're
bad.
not evil gays. They're evil bisexuals in Star Trek.
And there was always some other subtext, like the symbionts were the ones that were in love, not Jadzia and Khan.
Right.
And
As said, there's a name for that trope and everything, where there's an excuse for them not actually being gay. Yeah, just kind of lesbians.
I don't like this. Not that, well, that too. But Brunt being nice, it doesn't feel right. Wayun? No, not Wayun. What's your name? Jeffrey Combs. What are you doing?
Not be nice, Jeff. What the hell?
Does Jeff
Well,
play a
he just-
single nice character other than Mirror Brunt?
No, everyone's either a creep or evil.
Shran is all right.
Shran.
Oh, yeah, Shran is okay.
Shran's a
eventually.
good guy, but he's still kind of a jerk.
Pink
He's on
skins.
he's on our team, but he's not nice. But the Regent already has his hands on that technology. We know this. He got his hands on it years ago. More than that.
Do they call him Smiley because Smile is an anagram of Miles?
Yes. Yes, they do. Miles, Smiles, Smiley. You're Ferengi, Quark. Nobody likes Ferengi.
Jadzia.
Well, she's dead. She doesn't count. Also, actually, no, I don't think Mira Jadzia is dead. I think she's fine.
No, she's dead.
Died off
She's
screen.
dead. They said she was dead.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine. Jadzia is
Because,
fully
yeah,
dead now.
Mira
So she
Bashir
doesn't
was all
count
sad
anyway.
about it.
She's also definitely dead because they wouldn't bring her back for a Mirror Universe episode.
Oh, yeah, there was that time Jeffrey Combs played the Ferengi in Enterprise. He was nice enough. Though it was less about him being nice and more being naive.
Yeah, he was the patsy in that episode.
Yeah.
Garrick just really wants to kill her.
Yeah. Garrick loves murder.
Big fan. Big fan.
The Kardashians like to rub.
They
like to kill
actually,
people.
they're actually delivering themselves to the Regent. That's, yeah, no, that's not going to work. I don't think I need to have seen the episode before to know that this is going to go badly for them. Seems like a bad strat. Could they install the device on the Defiant
So
and
do you
try to
mean
convince them to rescue?
walking into the enemy base with the only bargaining chip you have, with no plan for escape, is a bad idea?
Yep. Also, that's murder. That's very impolite, Worf. You can't just kill someone like that. The cloak in oh god. I was just thinking if they had walked in and it was still cloaked. It's like, no, I know you can't see it, but trust me, it's here. Please don't punch me. Does Worf have a fleet, or is it just his ship?
He's the regent, so he's kind of the chancellor of the Klingon Empire.
I don't know if we ever see any other ships, though, other than Worf's.
True.
In this
Which
episode, I don't think so, but we
which I
have
think
seen
if
other
they're-
ones in the past.
Okay. If they're trying to crush a rebellion, you probably want more than one ship.
And we don't know how big it is.
If you have only one ship, it needs to be a really, really good ship.
I mean, they're on a Negvar class.
Lollipop class.
Hey, we got a same-sex kiss on Star Trek.
Yeah, but they're evil.
Good point.
I don't know if that counts.
That's not progressive, right?
Well, it's mostly about the fact that the only time, or not the only time, but a majority of the time that TV shows in this era would actually show LGBT characters, they also happen to be evil because they're
Yeah.
transgressive.
Right.
Basically, if you want a non-evil gay character, you kind of had to go with like Will and Grace, and that was about it.
Right.
Okay.
Ellen. Like there were a couple
And
sitcoms,
Ellen.
but
Didn't Ellen turn out to be evil?
Yeah, Ellen turned out to be a horrible person.
And
Well, in
was
real
Ellen
life,
was way
yeah.
later.
Yes.
No, Ellen came out in the 90s.
Yeah, but I feel like she took off after finding Nemo when she was Dory, and then she got her.
no, she had her TV show when she came out.
Oh, really?
Like she was already big.
Yeah, she came out on her sitcom.
I was kind of young.
Sitcom was promptly ended.
Was it?
Yeah, it ran like one more episode and then just got canceled.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. They couldn't handle the fact there was a lesbian on the TEV.
How dare she exist?
Exactly. What the hell what was wrong with her, being a human?
Yeah, even sports. It was unheard of to have any athlete be gay.
Maybe it would have been better if the Grand Negasir sent, like, a patsy of his own to go and scout it out first, instead of coming himself to a universe where everyone is very explicitly evil. Make some
But
deals.
it seemed like a good idea at the time.
You don't go yourself. Never go yourself.
It is a great business opportunity.
That's a big gun.
I love Mir Brunt.
Brunt is like the most noble person in this universe.
It's disgusting.
You could tell though Ezri had fun with that kiss for Nicole DeBoer.
How many more seconds does Brunt, not FCA, have to live?
15,
12
16.
seconds maybe.
5, 4,
There you go.
3,
Mirror Brunt.
2,
We hardly knew
1.
ye.
Dead. On the floor. Done.
Now she's gaslighting Ezri.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Ezri's falling for it. She knows what happened. It's just a matter of, can Ezri actually do anything about it?
Yeah, Kira's a very powerful woman. The intendant.
You know, the best way to get rid of powerful people in this mirror universe, you could have a gun.
What?
I do like to use gun on man around here.
No. Use gun on woman.
True.
I think
Just
like
anybody.
I think they know that if you inherit that power, you're the next person to be stabbed. So people are just like, she can have it.
Seems to be handling it pretty well.
Yeah.
You said it would be available within the hour.
Oh, that's our Garrick, or he let him off the chain.
No, that's mirror evil, Garrick.
Put him off
Well,
the chain. The other
Eric
one
is off
said.
the chain indeed.
Okay.
I don't know if I can call him evil mirror Garrick, because regular Garrick is also evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just mirror.
this Garrick is
same.
He says pursue very sillily.
Pursue.
this Garrick is technically in the evil universe, but like he's just a sycophant in this universe. He's not even that intimidating.
Yeah. But like, you don't know what his agenda is either.
His agenda is essentially survival at all costs.
Mm-hmm.
It
The
seems to
Regent
be
really
kill the
wants to kill
attendant.
him.
Mm-hmm.
Quark doesn't even mix drinks. He just orders from the replicator. What's Quark's even point? Why does he exist? What does he do on the
He
station?
does mix drinks. He does mix drinks. I've seen him mix drinks on screen before.
Yeah, he does.
The one time his replicator broke down, he had to shut down for the day.
Yeah, no.
He couldn't do business without the replicator.
Yanum. Yanum. Yanum.
Hey, Kevin.
And Rom's come such a long way. It's been a long road getting Rom from there to here. Because in season 1, he was an idiot. He was a murderer, attempted murderer. Quark or Rom
Yeah,
had a lot
Rom's
of
character
issues.
has gone through quite a few changes.
A
More
marriage,
character
a breakup,
development than anyone else in any series of Star Trek.
a revolutionary.
He was communist for an episode.
Technically minded in the first season. He was just Quark's scheming brother
Mm-hmm.
who wanted to control the bar.
A freedom fighter under the Dominion occupation.
Not a great
backbone of
baseball
the
player.
Resistance. You know, it's so funny because in TNG too, like Troy and Worf are about to kiss, and like Crusher interrupts, and it's like, what? They keep interrupting Worf's mojo.
Yeah.
Well, Regent,
There's
you've
a similar
already
thing
been
there.
cloaked before.
There's a similar thing on Voyager. I can't remember now. But they were about to kiss.
Where someone's trying to kiss.
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently they were going to kiss, but they got interrupted.
Yeah, Star Trek is also PG-13, so they
Happened
weren't
more
trying to
than
show
once.
too much lip service.
Yeah. Plus, it happened more than once, so yeah. I can understand that would be why that would be PG-13.
No, I don't think I agree with the region here. I think this is going to cause more trouble than it's worth. Just let them leave on the same shuttle, avoid the trouble. They're just too much of a hassle. Or if you're going to kill them, at least don't monologue for us first. Yeah, don't make it a slow, painful death where you monologue. Just shoot them. Shoot them and dump the bodies out an airlock.
The niggas is looking at him.
Look, they could have been
for-
dead 10 times over already if he wasn't doing this.
Yeah, but forget about the PG-13 thing. Like, that's pretty intense.
Yeah, Star Trek's PG-13. There's a reason why it's PG-13. This is why it's PG-13. And you had the doctor
Real
trying to-
Garrick. If real Garrick didn't want information, he would have been done with this murder already. Real Garrick cares about efficiency, not glamour.
Yes.
Well, he cares about glamour too, but in a different area of his life.
Yeah, the Ferengis are kind of pathetic, but couldn't these there's 4 Ferengis and 1 Mayhardu versus 1 Garrick? Why don't they just rush him?
Yeah, they could take him.
Okay, 1 Ferengi will get hypo sprayed.
We can afford to lose 1 Ferengi. That's fine. Alternatively, what if Garrick just shot them with a gun?
Where's the fun in that?
It doesn't need to be fun. He's on duty right now. He needs to do his job and just shoot them.
I like how
This is
Julian has a
time
limp
universe.
wrist and long hair.
We work before we play, Garrick.
Like, that's what bad guys look like? Huh?
See, don't stop. Well, no, okay. Never mind. I was going to say just shoot the Defiant, but I think this is a valid test of the Cloak. Test it and then shoot them.
Test them and then shoot them.
You also should test it with your own ships, seeing if they can find you.
Yeah.
In fact, maybe they should have done that first before they went after the Defiant.
Maybe they should have.
Nah, go all the way. Risk everything.
Just shoot them, Garrick. I'm sure that looks intimidating, but what if the Defiant just turned left? Oh, Garrick was behind a force
there
field.
you go.
That's why they couldn't rush him. And now they can. Excellent.
You got what you wanted. Are you happy?
Yes.
And I'm saying on the Discord chat, Jacob, Ben are crisis actors.
I'm sure some people are happy, but I'm not happy. I think Garrick still should have just shot them. There's a profound lack of door usage in Star Trek.
They're very nice actors, and I'm not gonna lie about that. In fact, I met them at the convention. They were nice. Well, Esri, I actually saw this year. I knew her from the convention 2 years ago. She's nice, but I haven't met the actor that plays Quark.
That's so cool.
He wasn't there at the convention this year or at the convention 2 years ago.
I think I counted Ezri as a Ferengi.
You counted as
No, that's cool that you went.
Yeah. They had it. They had it again. With
Oh, I
COVID
forgot to mention.
protocols, of course, but they had it. You know, they were taking precautions.
At least one of the Klingons behind the Regent, I'm pretty sure is from a previous episode. The one with Kor and his Klingon dementia.
And I was gonna say the CGI for this episode is really amazing by this last season of DS9.
Do we want to surrender? How about we just kill them? What do we gain from a surrender?
The ship.
Well, surrenders are pretty good. It means you get to keep their ship. You get their crew as bargaining for your own prisoners.
Slave labor.
I don't
there's
agree
that
with that
too.
point. The ship we definitely want,
How does it
but
just
the crew,
rip?
I think we should just beam them all into space.
How does he just rip the chair up like that?
We don't do
He's
that in
very
Star
strong.
Trek. Beam people into space.
They should, though. We don't know how many crew are on board. We don't know if they're going to attack when you send a boarding party. Just beam them all into space.
That's how the Discovery Mirror Universe does it.
Shoot her! Shoot her!
Just shoot her. Just shoot her. Pull the trigger. Quick, as soon as Kira
Pew
lowers
pew.
her weapon,
Pew pew.
raise yours and shoot her. Or shoot her in the foot. Shoot her in the foot, then shoot her in the face.
Shoot her!
Didn't you see the intimate kiss they shared at the beginning of the episode?
Always be willing to shoot someone you've kissed.
Statistically,
See, she's gained
somebody-
a conscious. Maybe at the beginning of the episode she would have shot Major Kira, Intendant Kira, whatever. But now she doesn't shoot people.
Well, she
Character
should.
growth.
That was the wrong lesson to take,
I don't
Ezri.
disagree with you. She should
Shoot
absolutely
her.
have shot her.
Shoot and then ask questions.
Yes. Cast Speak
Yeah.
with Dead. It's a low-level spell.
Yes.
What could they possibly pay you with?
Okay.
Gold pressed platinum.
Oh, don't make it weird, Quark.
It wouldn't be a bad idea to come back there.
Oh, really, Kevin? You'd want to go there?
No. I
Me
mean,
neither.
to come back. To come back to the
No. Alternate
So-
universe?
to come back to the space station. Not
Oh,
not
okay.
the alternate universe one,
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
but the regular ship. You know,
I was just making sure.
Rita.
Emperor
I
Lita.
met her. I made some good friends with her. When I met her 2 years ago, she was nice, and I saw her this year again at the convention. Saw her again this year. But yeah,
Oh, in the mirror universe.
O'Brien
Over.
and Smiley.
Elsa Brian.
All right, and that is the last Mirror Universe episode until Enterprise.
Chase Masterson. I mean, not Lita, but Chase Masterson.
We know Mirror Ezri's a good kisser now.
That's your takeaway from the episode?
I didn't remember it, which is funny. I remember the other one where Jadzia has it with her past ex-wife, so to speak.
Okay. Well, in any case, 1 minute to the next episode, Field of Fire, where Ezri murders someone. Or almost murders someone. It's not totally clear. I bet she murders him.
Yeah.
She definitely shoots
That was-
someone.
Finally, someone uses a gun.
Use gun on Vulcan.
Use gun on
Sniper Vulcan.
I mean, I can get behind this Vulcan. This Vulcan, well, we're spoiling most of the episode, but if you haven't seen it before, you shouldn't be here. The Vulcan is going to shoot people, and he's going to do it very effectively. He's not going to sit around and monologue about it. Just point and shoot. That's all he needs to do, and he does it. He's so much better at this.
You know, I wanted to say that I was watching Alien, the Ridley Scott one, the first one. And,
Hold that thought. Everyone press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Continue.
I don't know how you would find that on your computer. Just search how to shoot the Vulcan or shoot the Vulcan. I'm not sure if you would find any good search results.
A good what?
A good search a good search result. You know, the results will probably come on out there.
Ezri's a really good detective. We find out.
Okay, so this guy here, Mr. 22-year-old name I don't remember. He's a dead man anyway, right? He's a fighter pilot. He's a fighter pilot in a universe where point defense weapons are pinpoint accurate all the time.
and
He's
they have
absolutely
the
dead man.
capability of damaging capital ships. So yeah,
I don't know his name either, but I don't really care.
the question is how powerful are the fighters' shields that they can withstand multiple hits from capital ships?
I mean, well, okay. The USS Odyssey, the Galaxy class, got taken down by just a few shots that went through the shields. A runabout was able to take a lot more shots with basically no damage. So it looks like the smaller the ship, the stronger the shielding.
Well, the Odyssey got destroyed from a suicide run because they were damaging
even
it. But
before
they
that,
weren't
it had
damaging it
taken
enough to
massive
destroy it.
damage just from the phasers or whatever they use. Everything was offline on the Odyssey. They were trying to retreat, and then they got rammed.
At the beginning of that episode, the Jem'Hadar's phasers, whatever the weird name for them are, they go through the shields. But eventually they're able to figure out how to make the Polaron beam, I think. I'm not a nerd.
But my point is that the same weapons that they were firing at the Odyssey, they were firing at the runabout, and the runabout was fine.
Because the main cast was in the runabout.
Yeah, but your point is
had plot ablative armor.
They do explain it later because during the battle for Deep Space Nine, they noticed that Deep Space Nine shields are actually effective.
Great character. I'm glad we get to know this character. We're going to have many fun episodes with him through the end of this show. This is going to be great.
Munez
Do we see
too.
him in
Yeah.
Do we see him in the next episodes? Do we see him in future episodes?
Well, Kevin, give it
Probably
about 30 seconds. You'll have an answer to that question.
Okay.
But I want to say your point is correct, Ryan. Like when they're saluting him, it's a fighter pilot, and in any war, their chances of survival are kind of lower because, your job is to do dogfights and get shot down by AA.
To be clear, he was piloting the Defiant, not a fighter.
He said they specifically called out fighter pilot.
Defiant. He was piloting the Defiant.
Hang on, let me look up the script, because I'm certain they said fighter. DS9 Field of Fire script.
But Michael's watched this
Lieutenant,
a dozen times.
Listen up to Lieutenant Hector Ilario, living proof that Starfleet Academy produces the finest fighter pilots in the galaxy.
Yeah, but they're talking about him piloting the Defiant. Keep reading.
Oh, okay. So he's not he's not an X-Wing on the front lines of the Dominion War.
Or he was a fighter pilot and now he's been transferred to the Defiant.
Oh, he got in trouble.
Oh, there's the Jaeger. The most beautiful ship in service.
But yeah, fighter pilots don't live long.
Wow, getting out of bed within 10 seconds? That's impressive.
Yeah.
Takes way longer.
I'm lucky if I can do it in 10 minutes.
Some people can actually. Believe it or not.
And those people are evil.
So if you've seen it,
Believe it or not, I choose not.
some people can actually get up in
Lies.
in 10 minutes. As fast as 10 minutes.
Okay, so now we've established those rooms are not even slightly soundproof.
No.
Real easy to hear stuff outside.
There was a matte painting in the background.
So, Kevin, will we be seeing this man again in future episodes?
He's got to
Yes,
shake
we
it
will.
off.
No, he got shot, Kevin.
Got shot.
UP.
Thank you. Someone used a gun on a man.
Correct, son. 360 no scope.
Was just having a dream with a drink with him.
Actually, no, that's the opposite. This gun is all scope. The whole thing is scope.
I mean,
Yeah. It was something like
Wall hacker got me.
I remember something like that. It was something like to me that I was going to see him again, because when you said that
He was being sarcastic, Kevin.
he was in the Defiant, that made me think, oh, we are going to see him again after all. Okay.
Nope, he's a dead man.
Okay.
Someone used a gun on him.
He's a dead man, I tell
It
you.
becomes a murder mystery that Ezri has to solve.
Okay.
And we do get, I think, a different Duran.
Yeah, the actor's different. Very
Yeah.
different, actually.
I don't really remember what the original looked like. I just remember
He was
different.
much younger.
Yeah.
And symbiont hallucinations look however they want.
Yes.
They're not real
Yes.
physically.
Right, they've never been out in the physical world. They're literally a brain in a vat.
Duran isn't, though. He was a host.
No, but I mean, when Ezri hallucinates him here, that's not... He can look however he wants, I assume, because he's a hallucination.
That's true.
He could just look like her.
Though the being creating Duran, pretty good memory, I would assume.
Yeah. Well, that begs the question, how much time does a symbiont spend looking in the mirror?
Wow, he was
A
shot
gun?
right through the heart.
Why are you so
basically.
freaked out about that,
Yeah.
Cisco? Yes, a gun.
The gun.
Through the heart.
Why don't they
Yeah,
use
so-
projectile weapons?
It hurt.
It's because they need an explosive, and that has too much kickback. So it's better to have a battery. And if you've perfected batteries, like Elon Musk will for us, then you can have phasers.
They still need to carry battery packs. Why not just carry ammo packs?
Why not just carry a micro replicator, since we have micro transporters?
I was going to say micro resonator, but that's different. That's used to repair stuff.
I don't know if that's true, Julian.
I don't know if that's true, Julian.
That's my line. Does the TR-116 rifle cause powder burns? Can you even
Maybe.
tell that just by looking? Mike Hammer, hang on. We saw him reading a Mike Hammer novel earlier. It wasn't really a crime novel, it was a romance novel. I don't know if Odo, this counts as
So
research.
Odo's covering up his like for romance novels by saying, "Oh yeah, I read it for the crime thrillers."
Are you getting that confused for the book that he had where he was solid and was looking for romance?
Maybe.
Because Mike Hammer he's definitely a murder mystery author.
I choose to believe that Odo is citing romance novels.
There's a lot of murder and gunpowder in romance novels. There's nothing wrong with a man enjoying romance novel fiction.
Preemptively defensive.
Do you have something
I
you
was
would like
just
to share with the class?
Yes. When I was a kid, my sister would bring home Babysitter's Club books. So when I was done reading Goosebumps, I read all her Babysitter's Club books.
Okay.
I don't think anybody here is going to give you any shit over that.
You've had Goosebumps or watched the book called Goosebumps.
Yeah, that was by R.L. Stein. It was like horror stories for third graders.
Yeah.
No, Ezra, he'd still be dead.
Then you
Or-
might be
yeah.
collateral damage.
He could have shot 2 people with gun.
Well, you know, once you pop, the fun don't stop, or something like that. I bet you can't have just one.
When
Their
does it
acting's
stop?
really amazing because like their minds are blown that somebody would actually use a gun in the 24th century. Like that's the most confusing part. It's like
Their minds stop. Their minds don't stop.
yeah, and plus they killed their friend, so
Nah. We only knew him for about 2 minutes.
yeah, but we were drinking with him, so
Don't we have cameras in the corridors?
mhm.
No, we have sensors. Even better.
Could we not detect that there was a gun fired somewhere?
Can
Don't
have,
worry about it.
can have sensors.
What did he use to kill those people? Did he use a gun? Actually, I don't remember what he used. I think he strangled one guy.
I try not to think about it.
I think there was a gun.
I think this is the first character in Star Trek we ever meet who's halfway decent at murder.
The Vulcan?
Yeah, the Vulcan.
Yeah.
Everyone else is just trash at it. This
That's
guy's
right.
at least has the sense to do it in a way that makes it really hard to find him. And he would have gotten away with it too if he didn't try to.
If it wasn't for those meddling trills.
He needs to space out his murder.
He has a cool plant in his funeral.
So Ezri compares this guy to Duran, but like I don't think that they're comparable because the Vulcans' reasons for doing this are like serious psychological damage and
We don't know.
not
if the Vulcan-
pleasure seeking, which is what generally serial killers are after.
He killed himself with a gun from 7 centimeters away.
And he got rid of the murder weapon too.
I thought he was dead. I actually get to see him again.
Is she dreaming or is she daydreaming?
Looks like a dream. Or daydream, I should say.
Why are they doing this like slow motion thing?
I don't know.
Because the guy's telepathic as a Vulcan, and he's like,
But to do slow motion, do they have to make it such a low frame rate? Could they not have filmed it faster?
I think they
Isn't it-
filmed it at regular speed and then they just like took out half the
Strobe.
frames.
Yeah,
it's called the strobe effect.
but why?
Just put a strobe effect on it.
You ever been to a nightclub?
Well, they would have to double the frames.
Could they have filmed it 48 frames and then just
Drama.
played it at half speed?
Strobe is cool.
Change.
That's what they normally do.
I was thinking too. They would change the frame rate.
Well, it's not what they did here. They just removed half the frames.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's what they
Didn't
should
know
have
you could do
done.
that.
Is this the same guy who played the murderer last time?
No.
No, it's a different actor.
Okay, thank you.
I just need can change their frame rate because sometimes I do some video editing and then sometimes I do frame
You know,
changes.
Sorry to cut you off, Kevin, but
That's
this
okay. I
is-
was gonna say I do some.
ahead.
Sometimes I do some frame changes.
You think it's really cool being a Jadzi a Trill host to a symbiont, but like living with a psychopath murderer in your head is actually a really big downside.
Probably.
Oh, okay. It was a regular dream, not a daydream.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not so bad, A review. You get used to it.
They're not, because they say like sociopaths, they can cause somebody's hairs to stand up on their forearm and get goosebumps just from the cold stare, like with zero empathy that they have. So Ezri's really sensitive, so she seems especially unnerved by this.
Yeah. And I asked her when I was at the convention and when she was there, does she get like this in real life? Does she get emotional or does she get nervous? She said no. It's the character that gets like that, not the actor. Not the actor.
So she's a good actor.
Yeah, but it's not the actor. It's the
Like
character.
I was saying, there's a checklist for determining sociopaths, but the people who do it, they often report you just get this chill feeling too.
Yeah, it's the actor, not. It's the character, not the actor.
She's great.
Yeah, yes, yes.
Remember when there were 4 Starfleet officers on the station? Now there's 900.
A lot of officers.
Wow, you're right.
It's a very important station these days.
Yes.
You're right. You know, as bad as the arc is, or as like short as it is, I wish it was longer, you know, to end the series out. Like I think what Cisco did ends the war a lot quicker because it could have gone on for another 10, 20 years easily. Can we get those
Crockett.
mugs?
We've already had a David Crockett conversation in the core episode.
I was thinking the same thing. Can you probably get those mugs that they're drinking, or could they?
They're
just-
horrible mugs though. They're not functional at all.
Yeah, is
But
this even
I think
functional?
Ryan, would you like be able to 3D print that for us, please?
I mean,
This even functional?
I could, but I won't.
Okay.
Yeah, you could.
Displace targeting. Is this even... How does Miles know about micro-transporter bullets?
No, I think it's from the Davy Crockett story. It's that like the bullet.
I don't think Davy
ricochets.
Crockett made mention of micro-transporter bullets.
Yeah, but it's like spitting tobacco, right? You could spit it at a helmet and it would go flying into the bin.
Okay, Miles, this is wildly dangerous. What are you doing?
Yeah, this is really ridiculous.
Odo need to wear goggles.
Odo doesn't even have real eyes. Yeah, why does he have goggles?
I want to know what one of these melons tastes like.
Tastes like paint.
Tastes like what?
Paint.
Paint?
Yeah.
By the way, we've never seen micro transporters before in the history of Star Trek.
Jesus
All of a
Christ.
sudden-
Hang on. O'Brien was
I want-
surprised. He walked in and said, "Oh, it worked." So he didn't test this before he fired a gun into a room with 2 other people in it.
Which is well, he did say he only tried this a couple of times, but yeah, his reaction was a little disheartening.
Little sus.
What is wrong with you, Smiley? You could have killed them. Well, probably not Odo. Odo would have been fine. You could have killed Ezri.
Oh no, explosions hurt Odo.
But that was just a bullet.
Right? They have to. Oh, bullet? Yeah,
I don't
bullet
think
would just
bullets
break
would hurt
more.
Odo.
Yeah, don't try this at home, kids.
Like you have to like burn Odo to hurt him with like a phaser or something.
It takes a lot of... Well, sometimes it takes a lot of phasers.
Remember when
Sometimes it's
Mirror
just
Odo
one phaser shot and
exploded?
he explodes.
They could just scan every single room for gunpowder residue, and that would help them.
Could they scan the station just for guns? Who owns a gun?
Or that specific gun.
Even if you can only find any kind of gun, that's going to narrow it down to like 2 people.
You could scan the free radicals in the explosive in the propellant.
They don't even
I
use the
didn't
word
invite
gun.
Ezri.
gun in this episode. It's like such a barbaric word.
Why did they invite Ezri to the melon explosion?
Because she's chief investigator for some reason.
Oh.
It's in her contract,
not.
They call it a munition rifle.
Why is the counselor in charge of this?
Why was the doctor in charge of a anti-star shield?
Remember that one time
She
that
asked for a special project because she was bored.
Crusher?
Picard was like, "Oh, fine."
She was the one who called the conference together. I think of the She was enthusiastic by the scientists, so she called the symposium. But yeah,
she went to some like thing, and then when she got back, she was like, "I want to hold my own little thing."
I want a symposium too.
Picard's like, "Why don't you just have a normal hobby, like Will? Play the saxophone, like crochet or something."
Cricket, or fake play a flute.
You mean
that's right.
have someone wrap their arms around you and play the flute for you?
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't be
we
out
talked
there.
about the exciting world of archaeology.
How are you supposed to play the flute with your arms wrapped around someone? How's that supposed to work? That's going to inhibit your flute playing quite a bit.
Talk to the guy who was Picard's stunt hands.
Picard's stunt flutist.
Because he doesn't actually exist. He's just a figment of your mind.
If he wouldn't help, what if he couldn't help? Here's some reason why she doesn't want to ask him, because he might refuse to help. He might refuse.
Also, for the record, Worf hanging out with her was not going to protect her. She still could have been shot real easy.
Yeah, Worf probably doesn't know about the transporter gun.
He should. I feel like
Maybe
Worf
bomb
should have been told
rifle.
about this.
Yeah.
He may not be security chief, but you should still tell him. Does Duran have a mind of his own still?
Yeah, and then your job requires you to summon the psychopath who gives you the chills, and you try not to think about. Like, I don't think that's it's like Hannibal Lecter, but he's inside you. It's not, you don't get to go to the prison and get to barter with the criminal.
Well,
Yeah,
normally people go inside of Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
Yeah, But what I'm saying, at the beginning of Silence of the Lambs, Clarice Starling is a young FBI agent who has to approach the psychopath cannibal doctor for information to help solve the crime of Buffalo Bill. So here she has to do a seance in the mirror to summon the Dr. Hannibal Lecter inside her.
Durant does have a lot. Wait, what's Esri boiling there? Is that soup? Is that a chowder? What does she have?
No, that's the stuff that symbionts swim in, isn't it?
Why did she replicate that? Did she bring it from Trill? Where did she get that?
I have no idea. But
why does she have a bowl of boiling symbiont soup?
Didn't they use the same thing in the episode where they bring back Jetzia's previous hosts and put them in other bodies?
I don't know.
Probably.
Maybe
it looks like
Some sort of psychoactive chemical.
Maybe a bowl of chicken noodle soup.
So it's part of the seance.
I like chicken noodle soup. It's good.
Prop designer congratulating himself.
Quick, put this line in for me real quick.
Is it part of his contract when he's very proud of something? Actually, who was the prop designer? There's probably a bunch of them. Who did this?
Yeah, a bunch of them. I don't even know who, but I know it's a bunch of them.
Pretty sure that was a squirt gun, spray painted silver.
Like a Nerf or Super Soaker.
Oh yeah. Could have been a dart gun.
DS9 TR116. That's the name of the gun. TR116. Background information. Who designed this?
There's this
John
scene in
Eaves.
At Pupil, which is directed by Bryan Singer, who later directed the X-Men movies, circa 2000. Where this young high schooler finds a Nazi fugitive living in his neighborhood, and he puts on the Nazi uniform and starts like marching to it. Because anyway, so he turns him in at the end. But it's like he's getting some enjoyment from telling her to put on a murder weapon and like check it out.
Check it out.
Do we really want to be pointing a gun around the station?
I have no gun safety in the future.
Her finger's on the trigger.
How does this wheel work? It's just adjusting the distance that you're focused in at, I guess.
Also, this is a wild violation of privacy.
Well, you say wild violation of privacy, I say, normal afternoon activity, whatever.
She has her finger on the trigger, pointing her gun at several actual people looking in their bedrooms.
The barrel is at a weird angle.
Direction and editing is magnificent because it's very suspenseful, even how the murder is revealed.
Yeah,
I don't think it matters what angle the barrel's at because it just uses a transporter anyway.
Well, you're loading a projectile from a magazine and you're accelerating it down the barrel. You probably want it to be straight. Typically, barrels are straight relative to the
But I'm just thinking, like, even if the barrel is angled down, it can just transport the bullet slightly higher.
Or it just rotates the bullet in transport. Like, I get it. Like, the transporter solves all problems, but it just seems weird.
This is why you repress the psychopath murderer inside you. You don't let him out because...
Wait. Esri didn't know the gun wasn't loaded. And she was still pointing it at people with her finger on the trigger.
Yeah.
They don't have unloaded states, I guess.
You were almost a murderer, Esri. You were real close to being a murderer, even on accident.
It seems like...
You can just send the cargo bay. It's pretty empty in there.
And now he won't go away.
Yeah.
She needs to pull out the bubbling mud again. Make him go away.
We should probably eat something.
Yeah, it's been a long day.
Get a protein
And-
bar or something, Esri.
He's interfering with your relationships because Quark is trying to hit on
So-
her.
Do you think that like she has to open her symbiote pouch and like feed the symbiote like she has fish food, she just sprinkles down in there, closes her symbiote pouch?
No.
Do all Trill have a symbiote pouch all the
No.
time, or does it
Yeah,
just
Or, I
open
don't know.
when they get it? I just assume that Trills are actually marsupials.
They're just
We know
kangaroos.
that the symbiote can use a human if necessary. So the pouch isn't totally necessary.
I think that instance in Next Generation was made apocryphal by Deep Space Nine.
It also happens in
The
Discovery.
Yeah.
And by the instance also
Oh,
meaning
well.
like the premiere
If
episode.
it happened in season 3 of Discovery, I didn't see it, so
Exactly.
Well, you should go see it.
Well, yeah.
it's not real to me until I observe it.
I haven't been watching.
Hannibal Lecter has great hair
Schrodinger's
in this episode.
canon.
I mean,
Is the
Discovery's
animated
okay.
series actually not canon?
It's actually not canon, correct?
Okay.
I don't think Star Trek has official canon.
No, the novels are not canon. We know that.
I know that Gene Roddenberry said that the animated series and several Star Trek movies were not canon.
Oh, all
Gene
canon.
Yeah, the movies he
Roddenberry
wasn't
is-
part of, which was all of them except for the motion picture.
I think
Except for the
nothing,
worst one?
Corporate Daddy decides what's canon, so that's paramount.
I don't know. A motion picture, it wasn't as bad as everyone says it is.
The motion picture is literally the best one, unironically. It's my
Well,
favorite.
you're just a crazy person. That's the worst one.
Wow.
Like
Are you
from
serious?
a film
That is a
It's
rare
so good.
anniversary point of view.
Oh my god, that's
yes.
a rare opinion.
From like a kickback and
2
watch
and
it
6.
Wait, are there any
friends.
triangles? Triangles? No, no triangles.
I love motion picture. It's so good.
Wow.
You should have it
You
watch.
sound
literally
like
never
you're
met
being
anyone who
sarcastic,
liked
but I
it.
can't
No,
tell
no,
for
no.
sure.
Seriously, I've watched it more times than any other Star Trek film. It's great.
I wouldn't
Okay.
be down for that, but okay.
I feel like I've just
You do you.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you you can't
Wow.
like it.
You
I
can
mean, I've
totally
only
just
just-
not, I
shouldn't.
don't care.
I read
Remember-
like something how like it was just an art film and they just forgot all about like getting viewers and all that.
It's so pretty.
Yeah.
I've only seen the whole series once or twice, but I've been watching occasionally when my dad would have it on when he was living
So
here.
Ezra's willing to kill anyone at this stage.
Esri? Yes, stab him. Kill him. Is that a crime to threaten someone with a knife like that on the station?
Definitely.
Probably.
I mean,
Yes.
It's assault.
it's a crime
Would
in
he,
real life. Yeah.
would he press charges on the station commander's best friend, though?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's definitely crime.
Red shirt lives.
Now I'm disappointed she didn't stab Ensign Bertram. So, okay. Here's a question about the motion picture. Miss Moon. How did you feel about the uniforms in that movie?
They're terrible.
Okay. We agree on one
Oh,
thing.
the 1970s uniforms.
The
Look like they
uniforms
just
are
got
far the
a
worst
British
thing.
disco.
The gray jumpsuits.
They're not even gray. They're like beige, muddled earth tones,
I like
Oh,
that
yeah.
they have
and they
life
all have
support
bell
vests.
bottoms.
Like the animated
the
series.
belt.
I liked that.
Yeah, they never use them though. They never reference them, but
Mhm.
they're little life support belt buckle things.
I assume that's what it is. It looks like it.
Yep.
I also
Yep.
like the motion picture because Princess Kambata is an Indian actress, but she hated the idea of shaving her head for that role, and she was hoping it would launch her career. But we all know what happened.
She gave her oath of celibacy. That was her end, her end of Hollywood.
Now, she was a creepy character.
You can't
I like
give an
the
oath of
white
celibacy and
uniform a bit.
The
It's not
white
very
uniform?
good, but
Yes, it became.
there's like
yeah,
white uniforms and gray uniforms in the motion picture,
Yeah,
and the white one is far superior to the gray ones.
she could have had more accent training. Also,
And the uniforms, I don't know why they changed them. They might
I
get
looked
around
up
better.
Star Trek the Motion Picture white uniform, and I got a picture of the Delton lady wearing half a bathrobe.
yeah, basically.
Typical.
Oh, I think I see the one now. It's a little bit down. The one where Kirk
It's the one
kind of
that
looks
Kirk
like a sea
wears.
captain.
I also love the outfit that Spock wears before he puts on the shitty Star Trek uniform.
the black
Let me
cloak
look that up.
thing.
It's
It
been a
looks
while
so
since I've
cool.
seen
It has like
it
Vulcan
looks like
writing
it's
on
too
it.
small for him. It's
I
like
don't
for a
think it looks
shorter
too
actor.
small for him. I think it looks cool.
I'm looking at that now.
I didn't say it didn't look cool. I said it
Yeah, it's
looks
alright.
too small for him. Like it's
Yeah, that's much better than what everyone else is wearing on the bridge.
I like
Someone
when
else
Spock
died by
punches the
gunshot.
computer.
When are we gonna ban guns?
A wife and co-husband? Do bullions have
Never.
what? Bullions have multiple. Well, all marriages are multiple person. More than two people marriages. I know.
Andorians have a 4-way relationship.
I know
That's
denobulans
actually how they
have the
procreate.
3 and 3.
That's interesting. How evolution would
Does
evolve
the
that.
Delton oath of celibacy, is that a cultural thing in general, or is that just when they're on the Enterprise?
No, that's for everyone on the Enterprise. The only reason why it's Ilea that says that is because she's new.
I think it's specifically Deltons. They say that it's like they're so alluring that, and they have such high libidos that it would cause issues for the crew. Otherwise,
Joking, by the way.
It doesn't matter. Maybe we should just not talk about the oath of celibacy, because that's just Gene Roddenberry being
Yeah,
creepy.
there's people getting murdered on Deep Space Nine.
Ooh, is Ezri finally going to use a gun on someone? Come on, Ezri, use a gun.
Come on, Clarice.
This seems like kind of a jump in logic. Two people got shot and they both had family pictures in them. It must be the family pictures.
Hey, Dr. Lecter.
No, you should definitely tell Odo. As a precaution, Starfleet is asking everyone on the station to turn down any pictures they have of loved ones. Set them down
Buffalo
on the
Bill.
table.
Targets
Yeah,
women.
that would probably be a Starfleet thing.
Ooh, suffered a personal loss of some kind.
I mean, you're
can
in
I just put
Starfleet.
all the Vulcans in the brig
boy.
one by one?
Well, that's profiling.
Or
Mm.
you could just have a dog smell for gunpowder outside of each Vulcan's quarters.
Or just use a tricorder.
Yeah.
Or we just scan for who owns a gun.
Well, you see, they didn't register the gun.
Does he keep it in a lead case that the scanners can't penetrate? Uniform number 6. We found him. We found the murderer.
I mean, he's walking
How
around.
does Duran have a
music.
different perspective than Ezri? How can he
Yeah.
see through his own eyes?
Don't worry about it. Space magic.
Yeah.
Quick,
Face
Ezri,
man.
stab
She
him.
has,
Stab him with
she
a
has a
knife.
3090 in her head.
Stab him with a knife. Lovely weather we're having.
Hey, do you ever feel like murdering someone because they're smiling? I don't know.
I
Just
feel
this
like-
weird thing I was thinking about.
I feel like Ezri's assumptions here are just her being racist. She just assumes it's a Vulcan because people were laughing. USS Grissom? Why have I heard about the Grissom before?
Grissom Observatory.
NCA or CIS Las Vegas.
No, I mean in Star Trek. Oh! The Grissom transported Lieutenant Savick and David Marcus to the Genesis planet. And was destroyed, so presumably a different Grissom.
Is this NCC 1835A? How come the Enterprise gets letters and like every other ship that gets renamed gets a whole new registry number?
There's a
lot of them do,
Yamato
at least.
E.
There's a Voyager J.
But what's registration number, though? That's an interesting question.
I think it's
Of the
because
Voyager
the
J?
people forget. I imagine the people who made the Defiant forgot there was a Defiant in TOS. And then I know the second Defiant. That one doesn't have an A because of
A whole new registry
cost.
number.
Because they didn't want to reshoot
Yeah.
the shots of the ship flying that they reuse in every episode with the, Defiant A.
Oh no, Ezri's smiling in that picture. She's dead. She's a dead woman. You shouldn't have smiled.
The Voyager has the same registration number with the J. The Voyager J does.
Yes.
Sorry.
They would have had to have new shots made of the Defiant because the first Defiant is NX and then the other Defiant would have been NCC, right? Because it's no longer experimental.
Yeah.
I'd assume.
They couldn't change the registry because they didn't have the money at the end of the show.
Yes, just do it,
well-
Ezri. Shoot him.
What is with that comically tiny magazine?
Just do it.
Well, maybe it only has like 5 shots. 5-round magazines are very
we
small.
saw the bullet earlier. There's no way they could fit 5 bullets into that thing. Either way, why not have 20?
You know,
Maybe
Duran
one.
telling
So-
Ezri to just do it. That sounds like a video that's coming out next week. Or this week, technically. Also, I appreciate that Vulcan's blood was in fact green. Lovely.
Do they forget sometimes?
I'm not sure.
I can't remember them
Didn't they-
forgetting. They always forget that Klingon blood is pink.
In one of the movies,
Except
they
when they
do.
don't.
Oh, okay, it's the.
Klingon blood is Pepto
Klingon
Bismol.
blood, okay.
The reason they did that was to avoid an R rating.
Sadly, that scene didn't age very well.
Well, the CG blood, yeah.
Yeah. The spheres are too perfect and it's weird.
Shoot him. Do it, Ezri. Finish him.
I don't know. I've never been in microgravity and had blood floating around.
Well, I can tell you it doesn't turn pink. That's not an effect of microgravity.
I think it's pink
No.
because it's Klingon blood, not because of the microgravity.
Right.
It was pink to avoid
It was pink to avoid the R rating.
But it's on screen, so it's
I
canon.
think Discovery forgot about it. But Deep Space Nine sometimes has pink blood, but other times has red blood. It's confusing.
You've ever seen Klingon pink blood outside of Star Trek 6?
Yeah, it's
Let me look it
always
up. I'm pretty sure I've seen it
always
in
been
DS9.
I'm looking at pictures of Worf cutting his hand, which he does a lot, and it's red there.
My roommate always comments whenever Worf cuts his hand that he's damaging his nerves every time.
I don't
Well,
think he's actually
Klingon
cutting
nerves.
his hands.
It's okay, he has redundant
No.
nerves.
Probably, yeah.
You wouldn't actually cut your hands on the show.
No,
I
he
wonder if
doesn't
there's a
actually cut his
translation
hands.
for that, for what Ezra was saying.
They have like a blood capsule thing that they squeeze out as they draw the knife across his hand.
All right.
I don't
Last
know
episode for today. Changeling Martok number 2. We've had one Changeling Martok,
Changeling
yes.
Martok number 2.
But what about second Changeling Martok? And that episode is Chimera, which I did spell correctly. Excellent. 1 minute to that. Season 7, episode 14.
If I'm a Chimera. Chimera, but it's Chimera. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a monk.
I mean, maybe the pink blood's from the augment virus. Maybe that's how that works.
Yeah, how they create that that blood through the knife? If it's something you're squeezing it.
It's a special effect. It's just
okay.
A little capsule, or there's a tube on the back of the knife.
Okay, so in
As they
Discovery,
move it across his hand.
Okay, yeah.
In Discovery?
in Discovery Season 2, the episode Point of Light, there is pink Klingon blood. But
Cool. Hang up,
in
press
the
play in
other
5,
Discovery, like
4,
Season 1, it's
3,
red.
2, 1, play. So
And
it's
these,
sometimes
like,
pink,
blood
sometimes
types, they have
red.
different blood colors. Like some
Yeah,
Klingons
that's
have
what
pink
Memory
blood.
Alpha says, that they have varied blood color.
Like that. I'll go with that.
What is that? What are you holding, Odo? It's so shiny.
Yeah.
You don't have to get a souvenir every time you go somewhere. You could replicate one. Keiko wouldn't know the difference.
Nah.
But you never know.
Some hints. Can't you just
You never know
replicate
when the
Regalian
next-
chocolates?
You never know when there's going to be a next time you'll go on a late trip. So might as well get a souvenir, but I don't know.
Convicted hitman Jimmy Two Shoes McClandry confessed today that he was once hired to beat a cow to death in a rice field using only 2 small porcelain figurines. Police admitted this may be the only known case of a dick neck paddywhack.
Okay,
Yeah,
Colin.
nice.
You don't even look like Colin Mockery.
Yeah, far from it.
Ooh. What is that? Is it... It's not a space whale. It's certainly a space fish of some kind.
I'm going to say like a space bird. More like a space bird.
It looks like the thing when Jar Jar Binks takes them underwater to take them past the Leviathan into the Naboo underworld, the Gunga.
The proper
Gunga
name for
home.
that is Big Gooba Fish.
Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah, think
And somehow they go through the planet core, so I don't know what the geology of Naboo is like.
I don't know either.
It's a founder. Yeah, thank you, Odo. I think we worked that out. So yeah, this is Martok. Oh, and
Yes,
he's
I
not
was-
going to say anything until after the credits. Great. He even has
Yes,
2
I was-
eyes, so that's nice.
Founder.
Do not skip the intro as much as I might want to. Because it takes forever. Why is the intro
Do
so
it.
long in these shows?
It is.
You
it
wanted
is
the cool
weird.
kid.
Well, at the
I
same
mean, I
time,
like intros, but to go over a minute and a half with an intro now it does seem really weird.
Could we at least have it at the end of the show? So we can skip it?
It wouldn't be an intro anymore, would it? It would be an outro.
It would be a credit
I hate
sequence,
that
and
word
that's
so
all we
much.
you
need.
should make an edit of that. Can you make an edit of that?
An edit of it where I just remove it?
No, I mean, it was just shorten up the opening sequence.
I could just speed it up 5 times.
I wanted to say in the Silence of the Lambs, right? It's I'm not really that into classics like as much as I should be. So, but I do pretend to know something because when Clarice goes to meet him when he's behind the cage and under police guard, he tells her Marcus Aurelius says that whenever you examine something, you should ask what is its essence. And that shows up in Marcus Aurelius Meditations, which is one of the most important Stoic works you could have, and it's actually a pretty good reading. But yeah, I get to impress people even though I'm not really that good in the classics.
Speaking of speeding up the intro, I did watch a version of Star Wars: A New Hope where the speed of the video doubles every time a blaster shoots, and it's about like 2.5 minutes long.
Okay.
It's pretty fun.
Speaking
Oh
of
wait,
classics,
Martok's gonna say something.
oh, go.
Very different voice. Guest star Garmin Hertzler as Loss. Who calls him Garmin Hertzler? He's J.G. Hertzler.
They need to change it so that it wasn't immediately recognized.
Maybe. But yeah, that's Martok. He's pretty cool. How many characters do we see Martok play in DS9? He plays the Vulcan captain. He plays Martok. He plays Loss, and there's one other I know.
John Gurman Hertzler.
Nobody calls him that. He's JG. Who's the other character he plays? Oh, he plays Far Beyond the Stars Martok.
Yeah.
And Herojan Fighter, Kolos, Klingon Captain in Borderland on Enterprise, Vulcan Captain in Emissary.
Ooh, a Jaeger. I never even...
Oh yeah, he does play a Vulcan captain in Emissary.
Yep. It
looks like Cisco's captain.
You can't really get a good look at him because there's so much camera shake going on, but if you listen to his voice, oh yeah, it's Martok.
And then, of course, he's on Lower Decks as well.
Is he on Lower? Oh.
Ukamani Captain.
Okay.
In the episode Terminal Provocations, which is Season 1, Episode 6.
You're not at war with him, though. It's just... You can't assume he's evil just because he's the same species as someone else. That's profiling. You can't do that.
Sure you can.
That's just called racism. It's very impolite.
Yes, racism, well known to just be rude.
It is. It's very rude. So, well, this is going to come up later, but when they... Do they have a relationship later, or is it not like that? Because they link.
It's weird.
But my question is going back to previous conversation, does that count as a same-sex relationship?
Yeah, well, not a relationship, but some same-sex shenanigans.
Because the actors are the same, but the characters are... I mean, they're not male or female. They're whatever they want to be.
They're gender fluid.
They're genderless.
All fluid.
They are fluid. Yeah.
They're very fluid. Sometimes. I wonder what a changeling in liquid form feels like. They look
I
fairly
imagine it
viscous.
feels like Jello. Yeah, like a Jello that you've warmed in the microwaves for a little bit.
I was thinking like a jelly, which is like Jello, but with a Y. In the beginning. How long was the beginning?
Oh, he's like way older than Odo.
Yeah. Viralins. No, I don't think we ever meet a Viralin. Loss calling it like it is. He has bumps on his forehead. Yes, that's the only difference. Are they calling out their own costume designers? They're all basically the same. Slightly different faces. Is Lost the only changeling we see who doesn't just look like Odo? Because he has ridges.
Right.
And everyone else just looks like a flat Bajoran. Smooth Bajoran.
They look like that doctor that found Odo.
Yes, they're all Dr. Mora. It's an entire race of Dr. Mora. Except Lost. Lost is different. He has a different forehead.
Is this Lost?
Yes, that's Lost. No. No, this is not Lost. Dang it, Gyrinx.
So Lost is going to be after Voyager and Enterprise and TOS.
No, we already saw Lost. That was like season 2 TNG. Well, I don't know if it was season 2. It was just awful and felt like it should be in season 2.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I don't know. Do you split in mitosis?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
Might
the
have-
way that the changelings reproduce is never very well defined.
The only reason it's not well defined is because Gene Roddenberry isn't in control. If Gene Roddenberry was making this show, we would know very explicitly how they reproduce.
It would be like 6-episode arc about how they reproduce and how incredibly graphic and
They have 120
obscene their lovemaking is.
But we never figure out how the Q reproduced either. So
Well, they just touch their fingertips together. We've seen it. We saw it live on screen.
I mean,
you can't show that kind of thing on TV.
Look at what they're showing right now. My God.
Jesus.
Like, what do they
Christ.
really do?
Offended or something.
What do they do though?
They touch fingers. Don't worry about
What
it.
do they do? They touch their fingers together.
Okay.
I don't
That's
understand.
basically how it works for humans. It's just not a finger.
Mm-hmm.
Basically.
And the next words out of his mouth were, "You were so good," and she was like, "No, you were."
Now, how long were they
Oh,
linked?
did
Because
he-
last time
did he
Odo
not
linked with
say, like,
someone, it was for like several days and he didn't realize.
That's true.
Did Odo set an alarm this time?
I mean, in theory, they should be able to communicate in seconds. There's no reason why it should take days.
Also, does this count as cheating on Kira? I feel like it does.
It kind of does.
It depends. Is linking the equivalent of sex?
Yes.
It's the Great Link. Same thing.
Is it? But
What?
So are
I
we
feel
just
like it's
saying the Great
intimate,
Link
but
is an
it's a
orgy?
distinct thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess that's
Just checking.
it's an orgy porgy.
'Cause-
Orgy
well,
soup.
when Odo and the female changeling have,
Swap body
humanoid
fluids.
relations together, she's all, oh, that's how humanoids experience intimacy. Our way with the link is much better.
Ew. I never realized that.
Odo gets so weird every time he meets another changeling. His voice gets all soft, and he lowers the volume a bit. He gets all
I mean-
touchy-feely.
The 100 is how he was born. So that's literally the same batch 200 years ago that he came out of.
Odo never looks at Kira the way he looks at Lass.
Yeah. I mean, we established
Look at that
he
look.
completely forgot about all of his friends on DCS9 when he linked with the female changeling.
Look at that look of admiration on Odo's face.
But it's kind of like how Data sees LOL. Like, this is the only way I'll ever, like, I want to pass on my social skills so that this young changeling doesn't make the same mistakes that I did.
Except this guy's older. Loss is older than Odo.
Yeah, but he hasn't had experience with humanoids, right? As much.
It's not a real
Boomstick.
film stick, though, Julian. It's replicated.
Like, in other words, this is a character building episode because we're about to get some more episodes. And we got to round out the Odo. We've done a bit for the other, like we did Ezri last time.
You know, Volg, there's one major downside to primitive life forms that you love so much. Not one of them has invented a gun.
Well, it's not like there are deceptions possible because remember when she falsely implanted that Martok was a changeling or something, or like she put it in his head and that was wrong to cause more fights.
So is Odo... I think Odo is just going to turn into a jerk as he gets older. He's going to go hang out in the Link, and his mind is going to be poisoned with all the prejudices of all the other shapeshifters. He's just going to be evil later. It seems to be natural to them, if I can be racist
that's what I'm
myself for a
saying.
moment toward shapeshifters.
Yeah, like even without any other changeling contact, he just hates humanoids. Solids.
That's forward.
Are you sure? I feel like you should do that in your room. Yes, you do, Odo. You love confronting people with things that makes them uncomfortable. You take great pleasure in it.
He turns into a bird when it's time to catch a criminal.
With Major Kira. You're the one who brought it up.
There's not too many of you around.
Is Odo even trying to be a humanoid? I guess.
I mean, it is the difficult part of not having a humanoid lifespan.
I wonder what happens to Lost at the end of this. Because he just flies off looking for other shapeshifters.
They make him part of Star Trek Online.
I
What
feel
does he
like
do
he would
there?
form a new dominion.
Does he form a shapeshifter clan?
He forms a new link, yeah.
Okay, great. Does his new shapeshifter clan hold rallies? Perhaps against solids?
Or symposiums for 3 days.
Well, you
They
never
keep
want to go to a
trying, but
symposium.
Yeah, they keep getting abducted by Romulans. It's really inconvenient.
Right, give your girlfriend some validation, Odo. Come on.
Is he linked with you or something?
I mean, Odo's gonna have an existential dread, right? Like whether he fits in or not. And that's why he gets a lot of pleasure from his job and doing justice, because it's kind of like an apersonal thing.
I don't know if I believe you, Odo. You're gonna break up with her in like 3 weeks.
Does he?
He goes off to the Great Link.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like he's an orphan most of all of his life, and then finally he finds his family. So, yeah, it is kind of sad like that. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but he finds his family and he finds out that they're like deep south far right terrorists.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, but they're my people. I can get past all the Confederate stuff.
Yeah, but the good thing is though they end the war because they get Odo back plus the cure. So, sorry, I don't mean to give. So,
Wait, that command
at
doesn't
the end
count?
of the day, family's the most important thing.
How come that didn't activate fire suppression?
Yeah. And by the way, fire isn't even matter. It's energy.
No, fires
No heat,
matter.
maybe?
Fire
It's-
is a super hot gas, and as different particles within that gas cool down, they give off light.
Thank you.
It's just hot gas. It's weird. It's a weird gas.
When electrons go up an energy level and go back down an energy level, they release a quantum of energy,
Okay.
which produces a photon.
Yeah, right. The packet comes out of the photon, and that was a mystery why we had the colors to be the way they do, the blue and the yellow and the orange. And I think like basically Einstein's relativity kind of helped us figure that out too, because the black body problem.
Oh, Loss is trying. He's putting in an effort. He's still being racist about it, but he's trying.
So he turned into super hot gas that was ignited? That's what I don't get.
God, just the very term sounds so mean. You can't call someone a monoform, even if it's technically accurate.
Well, I don't know. It's not entirely accurate. You can change forms, Ryan. I mean, you won't survive changing forms, but you could change forms.
No, what
I
I'm
could
saying is that we
hack off a
should-
limb. That would change my form.
I mean, I could gain a lot of weight and be a little tubby, and that would be a little bit of form changing. But
Yeah, I meant more like changing you into a liquid or.
no, but
Generally speaking, I would
as you
prefer
said
to
that-
not be a liquid.
I saw this. There's this like the raspberries, which is
You're mostly liquid now. I mean, we're only changing like 28% of you to liquid.
That 28% is very important to me.
pretty important. But we should introduce this guy to the slime mold in our caves, because if he has no interest in like talking to us monoforms, like slime molds can take a lot of shapes and forms. Like I think he'd get along great if he doesn't want us.
What happens
he'd
if you
have
shoot
great
the
fun.
fog? Does Loss get hurt, or does it go through because it's fog?
But fog also needs a certain humidity state. You can't just turn into like low. Well, they have fog machines, but that's more like smoke.
Fog machines are particles of oil. They heat up
Suspended.
an oil and produce little tiny particles, droplets.
Thanks. So
Lo-
it's not water.
Lost, this isn't
No, it's
even an
not
issue of
water.
you being a shapeshifter. Like, people can't just lay down and bring a couch onto the promenade in the middle of the walkway. That's murder. That's generally considered to be illegal.
Well, they were trying to kill him.
With a knife. Which he can't be injured by. That's still murder. Self-defense only counts if you have a reasonable fear that you're in actual danger.
Right, and
Well, he
they have
doesn't
to
know
block.
if that's some. It may look like a knife, but it could be some type of knife-based energy weapon.
Okay,
You
but
know,
part of that is that they have to block your route of egress. So unless someone's blocking your way from running,
No, not.
you're not really
You
in
have to,
danger.
does Deep Space Nine have a duty to retreat in self-defense situations? It's not something that's universal.
I think
you
that
can run,
Martok
you
and
weren't-
Laws should fight this out face to face.
First of all, like, he gave him an honorable death, right? I mean, why are the Klingons complaining here? The Klingons are just being dicks. They started something and they got
Yeah, they
fucking
got what they
killed.
wanted, actually.
So it just seems very un-Klingon to be upset about this.
Fog can be menacing, Odo. There are lots of movies about it.
Yeah, have you ever been to Space Scotland? Very menacing fog.
They're such sensitive, like to be menaced by the fog.
Strong Klingon warriors scared about some weather.
Fog's pretty spooky. It's one of the spookiest weathers. In
You know
fact, it
what's
might
amazing?
be the spookiest weather. Is there any weather spookier than fog?
They,
Frogs.
Frogs aren't weather.
Yeah, no, fog is pretty crazy, spooky for horror films.
Frogs.
Yeah,
Frogs
frogs
coming
aren't
out of
weather.
the sky. Locusts.
Locusts aren't weather.
Yeah,
Well,
fog,
Rain
the
is
cloud of
weather.
locusts kind of are.
fog is spooky.
How about snowstorm with lightning?
Sandstorm. But he said spooky, not dangerous.
It's kind of spooky to have lightning with snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be spooky. I could see that. How are they even going to hold him? He can just leave.
Well, force field through the bulkheads.
How are they going to get him into a force field?
I'm sure he could go around the
Transporter?
force field if he could be fog. Or fire.
You can't go around a force field that fully encapsulates you.
True, but we know they don't fully encapsulate. They're just the front door.
Well, you had to put it through the bulkhead. I think that they have other times when they've captured a changeling, they have force fields like through the actual
Inside the
bulkheads.
wall.
True.
Yeah.
It's not my fault I'm racist. It's genetic.
Yeah.
Can't say that, Quark. You're supposed to be an intelligent being. You can overcome that.
And only 2 arms, 2 legs? What?
Well, nobody
I mean,
seems to like the Tholians.
To be fair, like our security and society kind of depends upon identity. And if like I can't look at your face and know that you're you, then we kind of have a problem. You know, if you can just be a changeling.
I think it comes down to like very like in humans, very primitive man, lived in tribes, and when they encountered another tribe, it usually didn't go super great. So like
Maybe we
something
don't like
about our
outsiders.
evolution, made us like weary of people who don't look like
Think
ourselves.
like we do, right? Also, yeah. Your own police force is not going to listen to you just because you're the same race as the criminal. That's pretty racist.
Probably had orders from Cisco.
Right.
Lost, you cannot take the moral high ground here. You stabbed a man.
Well, he did it in a really cool way though. It was pretty neat, It reminded me of the
law
T1000.
does not deal with how rad something is. Though there is an excellent Onion video where I think the title is something like Supreme Court upholds death penalty as, quote, totally awesome.
Totally awesome. I feel like they're, well,
Go ahead and put that in chatting on Discord. Slightly different phrasing than I remembered, but gist is there.
But it kind of does go to the point, like racism is self-reinforcing. If you have one bad experience and then you keep having bad experiences because you're
the one triggering those bad experiences.
Yeah, right, exactly. And I'm not for nothing, right? Like I don't want to blame anyone, but like sometimes, right, like you being sensitive and jaded or whatever, maybe what's causing you to have a bad experience when you could probably have a fine experience if you just chilled out, took a chill.
Lost knows what's up. Fear leads to hate. Hate leads to anger.
Yeah.
That's not exactly how it goes. Fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering, but close enough.
Hate leads to the dark side.
See, this is what I mean. When Odo goes and hangs out with the changelings over a longer period of time, he's just going to turn evil. Right now, he's not really being swayed toward an evil direction. He's just like, oh yeah, people are actually kind of prejudiced toward me, that's fine. But it's showing that he can very easily be swayed toward their way of thinking. As if we needed more proof that he could do that after he literally betrayed everyone earlier and got Rom almost killed.
And like almost lost the war for the Federation too, by the way, not for nothing. Yeah, you're right. Odo becomes like quasi evil if he spends like one day with his own people.
I'm pretty sure in Star Trek Online, Odo shows up and he's still basically just Odo. But I don't know if I believe that.
You know, not for nothing, each Trek series has a character that's like not human and kind of out of place. So in
Spock,
Voyager, it's
Data,
obviously
Odo,
Seven.
the Doctor, and Seven.
Yeah, right. And you know, like there's different ones who can fill that facet too. You know, Jadzia was a little bit out of place sometimes, but yeah.
Just Discovery's person, is that Michael?
It might be Saru, but like I said, there's different
Yeah,
facets
Saru.
of how it could be because Saru does grow the most too. But and it also usually tends to be the science officer for a good reason, right? Because it's going to be the nerdy kind of person who's socially awkward.
Some kind of trick.
Yeah.
Hang on. Okay. I've talked a lot about the phrase some kind of, but now I want to find out specifically how many times people say some kind of trick.
Yeah, that's a good one. Open up your video edits idea. Video ideas notepad.
Well, I'm just going to do a search right now.
Go Kira.
All right, it's currently searching.
Yeah, like I said, the LOL comparison is important because like this was his chance. Captain Cisco is so mad.
11 times. Which isn't too much. 11 times across all the old Treks.
Yeah, it's not much. It's like two or three per show on average.
So here, the implication of this episode is that Odo could change into a ship that could travel at warp speed.
Sure, if he were competent.
If he were competent.
He's not a good shapeshifter.
Well, he just
we know
linked,
this. That's
so
the main
he must
thing
have gotten
about him.
that information. But why aren't all the shapeshifters doing that?
Maybe they do. Maybe it's just a lot of effort and they don't feel like it.
I think like didn't she give him like the access to a runabout or something?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so he didn't
Maybe.
shapeshift into
Oh,
a
he
runabout.
took a runabout?
She told him like there's a hatch here and there. So I think
But anyway,
in those directions.
I'm thinking of the Bee movie now, where someone asked the bee, "It's like, oh, why don't you just fly there?" And it's like, do you know how much energy that takes? It's so much easier to just walk.
Yeah, no, and he could probably be a barnacle to a ship. He doesn't have to like become a warp vessel.
It's all cold in space, and
yeah, you want to be near the engine.
Just take a ship.
Yeah. Turn into a booster.
I can survive without heat or air conditioning, but do I want to?
Well, I thought Odo
Odo,
was in
arrest
on
her.
this.
That was illegal. Take her to prison. Take her to the brig.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time he let her go. He's got
Odo
the get
doesn't
out
even
of
know
jail
what he's
free
looking
card.
for. If he gets a jail out of free card because she's his girlfriend, that's it. Oh, there's Odo's runabout, so he took a ship. Oh, we're back in the cave. Wow, he took a runabout all the way to Bajor.
So how much other stuff do they not tell Cisco? Because like they're just running their own criminal justice system over here.
Yes.
Also, how did Odo find loss on the whole planet?
Yeah. The moon, but yeah.
That's gotta be a really good scanner.
That's true, because he's just turning into a rock, right? So you gotta find a rock among millions of rocks.
Is someone doing dishes in the background?
That's my mom. No, dishes. They need them.
She let you escape because she knew she could get away with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing that she let him go just because it was Odo's project, pet project.
Harry Potter survived the evil spell because his mom loved him. So every time someone else is killed by Avada Kedavra, does that imply someone else just didn't love them enough?
Yeah.
But he also hid the Horcrux inside Harry, so that had something to do with that.
Well, that wasn't intentional. That just happened.
Yeah, good observation though.
But yeah, Lost is like, oh, love conquers all. Is that? It's like, well, no, love doesn't conquer a bullet. So, you know, maybe if you just used a gun on the solids. Are you going to link again? One last time for the road? Ooh, he's getting shut down. No, no pity, Link. Any triangles docked at the station? Not a single triangle. Man, this show sucks.
Odo is always getting shunned by his own people.
This might be a spoiler, but alright. Are you sure there's more triangles in this series?
No, I'm not sure. I know there's some in Voyager, and I know there's some in Enterprise. I don't know about DS9 or TNG anymore.
Yeah, because I'm starting to think now that we've just been run out all of them.
They replaced the triangle with a Jaeger shot, which is just strictly worse. Why would you do a Jaeger instead of triangle?
So I guess we could replace it
A
with
lot
like
of
a Borg cube or a Borg sphere counter.
In orbit of the station or docked with the station?
No, for like Voyager watch alongs.
God, that'd be a really high counter.
Voyager.
There's a lot of Borg.
DS9, you could probably do a Klingon ship.
This is interesting. What are you even doing, Kira? Aurora Borealis, at this time of day, localized entirely within your quarters.
So he's ionized atmospheric particles.
I mean, sure,
Okay.
why not?
That's done. Not amazing episodes today, but next week DS9 is much more interesting. The first time next week is Bada Bing Bada Bang, which is amazing.
Yes.
Then Inter Arma Enum Sealant Legis, which is Latin, and I probably didn't say it in a Latin way. Inter Arma Enum Sealant Legis?
Cicero said that during times of war, the law falls silent. Again, that's how I pretend to be a classics major.
Yeah. And then Penumbra, which is a Cassidy marriage episode. I don't remember everything else that happens in it. There's a
we
marriage.
have a wedding
in there.
next week.
Oh no, there's not a marriage in there. They propose and then they break up because of the prophets.
Oh wow. So we have a canceled wedding.
We have a canceled wedding and then we get a wedding the week after.
Oh, okay.
Because they get back together. And then he leaves her to go be with the prophets. So the prophets got what they wanted anyway.
I don't want to spoil Simon Vegas, but I'm just used to tell me what I'm just used to telling what kind of episodes there are. In Simon Vegas, we actually get bits of Voyager in there, so we'll actually be someone will be watching Voyager.
Yes, someday. Soon, in fact.
I mean someone, since we'll be watching Simon Vegas, and there's a.
So in 2 weeks,
Voyager.
hopefully, we'll be finishing out the series then, right? Both of them?
No. It'll be more than that because DS9 is more than 2 weeks left in the series and TNG has movies left.
Thank you.
If that's what you count. Next week TNG is going to be Firstborn with Alexander, adult Alexander, and Alexander's Rite of Adulthood and stuff, which isn't great. And Bloodlines, where Picard gets another fake son, and it's not that great. And Emergence, where the ship becomes sentient for an episode, and it's fine. Look, Season 7 is a massive drop in quality. Don't worry about it. And then the week after that, potentially all good things. We might be done with the series week after. We'll find out.
As time passes, a boy inevitably becomes a man. But what is not
inevitably. I can think of several ways to
is that a
prevent
man
boy becoming
becomes a warrior.
There are many ways to prevent that.
Well,
1, with hormones. 2, with a gun.
A gun? It's dark. It's dark. Ryan is talking about killing children.
Only a little bit. Don't worry about it.
I admire your efficacy.
Guns solve so many problems. Now, for the record, this is a gag for the stream. I don't actually think you should shoot people.
What about a modest proposal? I feel like you'd be on board with a modest proposal.
No, I already did a video on modest proposal about 2vixing everyone on the ship to save resources. Merge everyone together. Easy. Anyway, we're done here.
You just have one person.
Be gone.